Swadee Ka, thank you for joining us on Newsline. We are broadcasting live on NBT, Radio Thailand FM 88, and on NBT World. It's Friday, November the 27th, and you're with me, Tra Thirakalsan. Welcome to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. In our first story, Prime Minister General Prayuth Chanocha attended a meeting to assess the readiness of holding the Bike for Dad event, to be held on December 11th in commemoration of His Majesty the King's 88th birthday anniversary on December 5th of this year. The Prime Minister instructed officials to prepare for the event to the best of their abilities and to take into consideration the concerns from all sides. After the meeting, General Prayuth, along with other notable officials, such as Jirayu Isaranguna Ayutthaya, Director General of the Crown Property Bureau, Jarungjit T. Kara, and His Royal Highness's Private Secretary, Air Chief Marshal Satit Pong Sukwimun, received Bike for Dad polo shirts, pins, and bracelets in front of the image of Crown Prince Mahawajiralongkorn. Meanwhile, Deputy Prime Minister General Prayuth Wongsuwan has called for security to be tightened in narrow areas and places overlooking the cycling route after receiving reports of potential violent plots. The Bike for Dad cycling event is being held worldwide on December 11th as part of celebrations for His Majesty the King's 88th birthday anniversary. In Thailand, the Royal Thai Police will carry out several safety measures to aid participants and ensure that activities across the country run smoothly. Joining us on the phone today to talk about these safety measures is Police Colonel Krisana Patanacharan. Swadee Ka.
Swadee Ka.
Now, a few months ago, the Royal Thai Police was also tasked with safety and security during the Bike for Mom event. How did that event help prepare for the Bike for Dad event?
Yes, we have certainly learned from our past experience during the Bike for Mom cycling event. We meticulously study what we have made during the past events and use them as case studies so that we can put in place the safety and traffic management measures. We also take into consideration concerns from General Prayuth Chanocha, the Prime Minister, General Prayuth Wongsuwan, Deputy Prime Minister, and also Police General Jaktip Chaijinda, Commissioner General of Royal Thai Police. In particular, Royal Thai Police has set up 4 security measures, including safety measure, traffic management measure, safety measure for high ground area, and safety measure for people attending the event.
Now, there will be a lot of people at the event. How does the Royal Thai Police have enough manpower?
Yes, Royal Thai Police will deploy approximately 30,000 police officers nationwide to provide security and facilitate riders and also road users on the event day. All officers will secure the perimeter 24 hours prior to the event. In Bangkok in particular, we've set up 32 forward command posts along biking routes. These command posts will be run by the Metropolitan Police Bureau and will be fully equipped to provide assistance for the riders. And officers from the Central Investigation Bureau and from Royal Thai Navy will work closely to secure water routes and 4 beaches, which are Prabinga Bridge, Prapoka Bridge, Rama Air Bridge, and also Pin Bridge. Police helicopters will also be deployed to monitor the cycling event. Security measures shall also be applied on the same criteria in every province during the event.
There's going to be 99,999 cyclists registered for the event at this moment. What is going to be the key to controlling the massive crowd?
Yes, we have taken that into our serious consideration as well. Our security team has conducted safety assessments so that we could move forward to the right direction. We have used our command control center to closely monitor the event. Our command control center is capable of reaching out 1,467 police stations nationwide, and some 1,000 CCTV cameras have been put in place for monitoring and communicating on crowd and individual behavior. We have also set up a team to deal with potential aggressive, abusive, or violent behavior. Our rapid mobile unit, along with our medical care unit, we carry out their duties for first response, including first aid and critical care. We also provide alternative routes, emergency routes, and parking points for riders. Our security team also takes into consideration coordinating contingency plan and emergency evacuation. As I said previously, police helicopters will also stand by for emergency evacuation.
Could you tell our viewers about some common accidents that police are looking out for during the event?
Yes, and the possibility of accidents is most likely a minor collide between cyclists caused by fatigue, dehydration, or even incaution while riding. Roadside police suggest that cyclists take extra care while riding a large group in order to avoid a collision. And to deal with issues of fatigue and dehydration, we suggest that riders carry enough energy drinks and power bars to boost up energy, or even take a short break. Our rapid mobile unit, along with our medical care unit, we carry out our duties for first response, including first aid and critical care, in order to deal with any unexpected incident during the event.
So it's going to be very important to stay hydrated during the event.
Yes, I think so, yes, because it's what we've learned from the past experience.
Right. How can motorists in each province prepare for road closures and possible traffic congestion on December 11th?
So since the cycling routes have been publicly announced nationwide prior to the event, so roadside police suggest that road users avoid the cycling routes and activity venues to avoid road closure and traffic congestion. In Bangkok, for example, road users should avoid 29 kilometers of cycling routes. We also recommend that the public use the expressway, since we received a courtesy from the Expressway Authority of Thailand and Bangkok Expressway Public Company Limited in providing free toll at 11 toll gates along the biking route. We further suggest that public use BTS, MRT, and even public buses on the event day. For traffic information in Bangkok, please contact our traffic police call center at 1197. For more information in other provinces, please contact the local police station.
So it seems like there's going to be a lot of coordination as well as cooperation from all sectors in regards to security during the event.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Thank you very much for joining us today, and that was Police Colonel Krisana Patana Jalern. Thank you. ขอบคุณค่ะ
ขอบคุณครับ Thank you.
Turning now to other news, Prime Minister General Prayuth Chan-o-cha will attend the 21st United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, or UNFCCC, in France to declare Thailand's intention to solve environmental problems in collaboration with other countries. The Prime Minister said he was going to Paris to attend the meeting at the end of this month, since the meeting concerned an issue of global significance, and leaders of many countries worldwide were also going to take part in the event. General Prayuth added that he would express his vision in the meeting in order to show that Thailand was ready to play an active role in tackling climate change. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs held a workshop on Thailand's chairmanship of the group of 77 developing countries, shedding light on the future challenges the kingdom will face once it chairs the bloc in 2016. His Excellency Virachai Plasai, Ambassador and Permanent Representative of Thailand to the United Nations, hosted the event. He said that the development of G77 is now on the national agenda. Thailand will seek to reinforce unity among group members using the kingdom's characteristic hospitality. Ambassador Virachai highlighted 17 articles of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, or Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, which include eradicating poverty, eliminating hunger, improving the quality of education, and promoting gender equality. The 15-year goals were set by the G77 this year under the chairmanship of South Africa. Thailand is tasked with implementing these goals next year, paving the way for the bloc in subsequent years.
We will have a very exciting year, the first year to implement the Sustainable Development Goals that our leaders just adopted. We will have to implement, follow up, and review the goal in the coming 15 years. And 2016 will be the first year. So, as in every undertaking, the first step is very important, is the crucial step. And if we do the job well, we will set the tone and will set the whole community, the whole international community in the right direction.
His Excellency Kingsley Mamabolo, Ambassador and Permanent Representative of the Republic of South Africa and G77 Chair for this year, commended Thailand for taking up the honorable task of the chairmanship. He stressed the importance of G77's presence in the United Nations and its role in dealing with the issues of developing countries.
I must say to Thailand, first let me say to the people of Thailand that this has been a wise decision. You have placed yourself in a position of leadership in which you will be leading the developing world on issues of bread and butter for the poor, the marginalized. We have just developed a program at the United Nations, a global program, which talks about eradicating poverty, which talks about not leaving anybody behind. And so we will be looking up to Thailand, to your tested leadership and diplomacy, because that is what will be required to navigate the entire developing world into a program, hopefully, that would uplift the status of many. Now that we have come up with this program that I'm talking about, it is important to note that Thailand would be taking up this leadership at a time when we're talking implementation. So Thailand would be leading us on the implementation of this entire program.
The finance minister is confident the government's disbursement of investment funds will push the Thai economy to grow 3.8% next year. Finance Minister Apisak Tantiwarawong made known that the government this year initiated 6 investment projects worth 180 billion baht, while 20 more projects valued at 1.6 trillion baht combined are scheduled next year. The investments are believed to help generate revenue of 130 to 140 billion baht in 2016 and 300 billion baht in 2017. As a result, the minister projected the 2016 economic growth to reach 3.8% as targeted. The sources of investment capital include the government's expenditure budget, public-private partnerships, and the Thailand Future Fund. The government is trying to attract more private investment through tax privileges in addition to those already provided by the Board of Investment. In regards to the policy to boost local economies through village funds with a combined budget of 60 billion baht, Mr. Apisak said around 40 billion baht has been allocated so far. Meanwhile, 68 billion baht worth of soft loans out of the total budget of 100 billion baht has been approved for SMEs by the government's savings bank. The Thai Consumer Confidence Index in October of 2015 increased for the first time in 10 months after the government imposed short-term economic stimulus measures. Director of the Fiscal Policy Office, Krisada Tina Wicharana, said the October Consumer Confidence Index was 62.2, rising from the first time since the beginning of the year. Mr. Krisada said that apart from the government's economic stimulus measures, other factors contributing to the improved consumer confidence included decreasing oil prices, as well as the government's policy to boost consumption and domestic investment. This year's oil price is expected to be stable at $53 per barrel. The Thai economy in the fourth quarter will likely continue to expand until 2016, with a growth estimate of 3.8%, mainly due to infrastructure megaprojects. As for the export sector, in October of 2015, it continued to drop by 8.1%, especially exports in the category of agricultural products, following the slowdown of the global economy, as well as economies of Thailand's trade partners. The exports of agricultural products contracted by 4.8%. And that's the end of today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. Before we take a quick break, let's have a look at the exchange rates and commodity prices.
Welcome to ASEAN, a community comprised of 10 countries, each with its unique culture and history, now unifying to bring added prosperity to the region. For centuries, each country remained independent, but now we are coming together to compete in the 21st century globalized world. ASEAN is bringing together more than 600 million citizens and a total land area of 4.4 million square kilometers, and is providing economic opportunities, trade, travel, and new educational possibilities. The combined GDP of all 10 ASEAN countries comes to a total of $2.4 trillion, which means the ASEAN entity ranks amongst the world's major economic powers. The future is here. Welcome to ASEAN, the community of opportunities. The Southeast Asia region is now becoming one.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. The Ministry of Social Development and Human Security and the International Gender Equality Organization, UN Women, have co-organized an event for the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women held at the United Nations Conference Center. The white ribbon symbol, which symbolizes a pledge to not condone, ignore, or commit violence against women, has been taken up as a universal symbol that promotes an end to such violence every year.
Violence against women and children is an international issue. Many activities on this issue are to be held not only in Thailand, but throughout the world. The government expects cooperation to end such violence in Thailand and build positive attitudes towards gender roles from childhood. The government is calling for a combined response to end all forms of violence in Thailand.
This year, the theme of the campaign is Stop Violence, ASEAN Together, as the 10 ASEAN member countries are joining together in the fields of politics, security, economics, and social culture this year. UN Women aims to raise public awareness about the violence, which will lead to the collaboration of all sectors in Thailand and all ASEAN countries towards the elimination of all forms of violence against women and children. Thailand and Iran are slated to sign a trade agreement in February of next year, when demand for Thai products in the Persian country is expected to reach 260 million baht. Deputy Commerce Minister Suwit Masinsi spoke of his recent visit to Iran, saying that the two countries had agreed on a joint commission's meeting in February next year to further strengthen economic ties. The two countries are expected to enter a new age of cooperation in which Thailand will serve as Iran's gateway to ASEAN, while Iran will open the door for Thailand to the Middle East, as well as countries in the Commonwealth of Independent States, including Russia. During Mr. Suwit's visit, a total of 53 Thai businesses held trade negotiations with over 300 Iranian importers, resulting in immediate orders worth 3.6 million baht for Thai goods. The Ministry of Commerce expects 260 million baht in exports in the year to come. Iran is also expected to import 54 million baht worth of para-rubber from Trang province. In addition, Thai and Iranian officials discussed cooperation in tourism, energy, and construction. Thai officials have invited Iranian counterparts to observe the production process of Thailand's rice industry. Elsewhere around the world, North and South Korea agreed to hold a high-level talks next month after marathon working-level talks that began a day earlier. North and South Korean officials met on Thursday to further ease tensions after they ended an armed standoff in August. Their latest attempt to revive dialogue stalled for 5 years. South Korean Unification Ministry spokesman Jang Joon-hee said at a news briefing that the high-level talks will be held at Kaesong Industrial Complex on December 11th. The meeting next month comes after the two sides signed an agreement in which Pyongyang expressed regret over landmine blasts near the border that wounded 2 South Korean soldiers. The rivals had all but cut off ties since 2010 when a South Korean Navy ship was destroyed by a torpedo that Seoul said was fired from a North Korean submarine. Pyongyang denies any role. The North also bombed a South Korean island later that year, blaming Seoul for provoking it by firing into its territorial waters during a military exercise. Spectators packed at Manhattan sidewalks on Thursday to watch the marching bands, floats, and giant balloons of Macy's annual Thanksgiving Day Parade, held under tight security 2 weeks after deadly attacks in Paris. The world-famous Rockettes made the short trip from nearby Radio City Music Hall to entertain the crowds with their high-kicking chorus line routine. Outside of Macy's flagship store on 34th Street, spectators applauded at the procession of marching bands and musical acts from around the country, as well as the helium balloons of cartoon characters that hovered over the parade route. The lines of spectators roared as the floats and balloons of such popular characters as Paddington Bear, the Pillsbury Doughboy, and Snoopy, who NBC said holds the record for most appearances passed by. New York officials said about 3.5 million spectators would turn out for the city's signature parade, now in its 89th year. The New York Police Department had ramped up parade security nearly 2 weeks after deadly attacks in Paris. They urged residents and visitors to carry on with holiday plans, saying there were no credible threats to the most populous U.S. city. And that's it for today's edition of Newsline. For any comments or suggestions, please feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook. Just simply type in NNT or check out our website at thainews.prd.go.th/en. We are going to say goodbye now with footage from the Loi Krathong Festival here in Thailand. I'm Tra Thirakosan. Have a wonderful day. Sawasdee ka.